So I've had these experiences I remember in my formative years, like 8 years old and up into my teen years, of kind of living in this mental soup that didn't make any sense, of disconnected parts that I realize now were my budding sexuality, and they had no context in my life. They didn't really work. They didn't make sense. They weren't interesting, but they were weird, kind of kinky, and they didn't connect to all the physical parts because I didn't know how all that worked. And I realized it was a real delicate soup, and fortunately it wasn't tainted or wrecked up or messed up in any way. And it was allowed to flower and flourish and connect in a very healthy way later when I was ready for it. But it made me think that young people, when this is still a mess, all this budding sexuality that's forming and disconnected, if they get traumatized, meaning molested, by a parent or somebody they trust, or just anybody, same sex, opposite sex, priest, a relative, rape, it's all rape. But maybe that's what happens, a trauma in that soup that kind of fixes things so that people end up with kind of perversions, let's say, that are away from just the beauty of sexuality and loving and giving and all that. And I wonder also, we go through another period of soupy messiness in becoming adults, through our teenage years pretty much. And our heads really are disconnected, have disconnected pieces in them from things we're feeling that don't function yet, and it is a soupy mess again. And then we're fed so much misinformation from different places, sources, movies, television, stupid friends, high school, and things that impede us from, or let's just say we're not ready to be adults yet. And if you get through all that process and all the pieces fall into place in your 20s, then I think you end up with the tools to be an adult. But if you mess that up again, and that's not so much the sexuality, but I'm always thinking, if you mess that up with drugs and you form things, kind of cement things into place too soon before the parts fit, you may be messed up forever. And that's why I really am concerned about things like, of course, child molestation and all that, destroying people's lives. But I think drugs, particularly if you have them in your teenage years before you're an adult, really can destabilize your whole foundation for the rest of your life. It's an interesting thing, but I think we need as many tools as possible firing in the right order to get the best done in our lives with what we have. So that's all. I guess I'm saying, let's all be patient and let things form even when we don't understand what's happening. What do you think? Maybe you know more about this than me or have some ideas to share. I definitely want to hear them. Thank you.